Thank you so very, very, very much. I have to tell you, it is a unprecedented and probably unique experience to get a warm reception and in front of a public audience in Newark. And for those of you who have been reading the Star Ledger, I think you know of what I speak. But it is truly a great privilege to be here and to have been a very small part of this enormously successful enterprise. There are a couple of folks that I think do need a moment of recognition, and let's start with Ryan Hill. What I love about Ryan, whom I'm so happy to be able to call a friend, is if you asked Central Casting 5 years ago to send up someone who would start and found an extraordinary school in urban Newark, I doubt very much anyone would have imagined they would have sent a 25-year-old kid from the central Wisconsin, I think it is. And yet he has come here, and even if he isn't whom Central Casting would have sent up, he has done a really heroic thing with his life, and we are all so grateful for his work. Thank you, Ryan. I want to also call out Shavar Jeffries, who I'm also very honored to call a friend. He was the founding president, I believe, of the board, and has an extraordinary history, not only a founding president of the board, really a founder of the school. He has thrown himself into the sometimes rather insane politics of Newark, and every conversation I've had with him, whether or not we've agreed or disagreed, and we've had plenty of both, I have always been impressed with his almost righteous belief in the rightness of the cause here, and I'm very, very grateful for all that he has done to make this possible. One thing that wasn't mentioned is I taught high school history for 4 years long ago. It was a decade that began with a 7, if anybody's keeping track of that. And I think it is really important at moments like this to recognize the educators, the teachers in particular, and the administrators. It is the hardest job in the world. I've had a chance to have plenty of interesting jobs over my career. Some would say I probably had too many, but I will tell you that the work of teaching school is incredibly hard and frustrating. Of course, it's rewarding, it's spiritual, it's a beautiful thing when done as the craft that great teaching is. But we owe so much to those who commit their lives to the most important enterprise in all of this country. So thank you very much to the educators. So I think the question that always strikes me at moments like this is, why does this have to be so hard? You look at the statistics that Ryan showed us all on the big screen, and we sort of stand back in sort of amazement and admiration, and we understand deeply that these are not just numbers on a graph, but these have everything to do with life outcomes, real things like the likelihood of being unemployed, the likelihood of contact with the judicial system, the likelihood of incarceration, lifetime earnings, all the great indicators of life are amazingly predictably predicted by success, first in elementary school, then in middle school, and then high school graduation. So you look at what I think we can only appreciate as a truly magnificent and beautiful experience that is being offered by Ryan and the entire team at Team, if I can say that, that has brought this all about. And then you ask, why is it that we are currently in an environment where there are people who wake up every single day trying to stop this from expanding? People who wake up every single day saying, oh, we don't think it's appropriate for you to have space, even empty space, in traditional public school buildings. People who lard up the charter school legislation with poison pill after poison pill, including, by the way, telling charter schools such as this that, oh, by the way, you're going to get less money than traditional public schools get, and you're going to get no money for your real estate needs, no capital budget at all. It is a remarkable thing, and as I look at the perseverance of this school and the people who have done so much, including the students who give above and beyond the call of duty, I have to say, in terms of the work that they do. It is amazing to me that we live in a society that tolerates that kind of resistance when the stakes are so very, very, very high. You know, there are many, many great traditional public schools. In Newark, I've had the great privilege of visiting many of them. But I say the same thing to everyone who asks. I really am indifferent to how a school comes into being. I am absolutely indifferent to whether it is a magnet school, a traditional public school, a charter school. It really doesn't matter to me, because what matters to parents and what matters to kids is whether it is successful. All those other issues, those are for other interests. Those are for adults and for others to squabble about and have food fights about and knife fights and worse. It is these are not issues that have any bearing on what collectively as a society we should care about. We are sitting in a city where approximately 22% of the children who start the 9th grade in this city, approximately 22% graduate 4 years later, having passed our high school exit exam called the HESPA. That is a tragedy of profound proportions, and anything that we can collectively do to try to change that is something that we should applaud. And so I really need to keep reminding myself every day that change is hard, change often has casualties, and those who are advocating for change almost always lose in the court of public opinion, because those who are defending the status quo have something to point to. So all the yes buts that Ryan so cleverly pointed out for us, no matter how many times you knock them down, they keep resurfacing in the mouths of politicians, in the mouths of opponents, and yet it takes a kind of, if you will, righteousness that is so magnificently exhibited here today to really persevere through this. And I will tell you that in this great city, and it is indeed a great city, the possibility that this school will serve 10% of the kids within a handful of years. And by the way, there are other charter schools as well as a tremendous collection of very, very successful traditional public schools. We are watching a very, very not so quiet revolution, and it is a wonderful privilege to have had the honor to be a significant component of at least the launch of this, because this is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful phenomenon that we are all collectively part of today. So thank you so much to everyone who gave of their time tonight, and thank you so much.